Power's out, it's freezing, and your family's hungry. Sound familiar? Winter storms can turn your home into an icebox fast. And when your electric stove and microwave are useless, the stress kicks in. You need a hot meal, not just for the food, but for the comfort and normalcy it brings. But how do you cook safely indoors without power? Forget dragging the grill onto the porch or risking carbon monoxide poisoning with outdoor gear inside. Don't do it. Today, I'm giving you 10 safe and practical ways to cook real food indoors during a power outage. From clever hacks with what you already own to gear you'll want to grab before the next storm, I've got you covered. Don't wait until the lights go out. Hit subscribe now so you're ready to turn a crisis into a warm, memorable family dinner. Let's get started. 1. Cooking with a gas stovetop. When the power goes out, your gas stovetop can be a lifesaver if you know how to use it safely. For those with a natural gas or propane range, you're in a great position. While the clock and oven light won't work, the gas supply itself is independent of electricity and almost always remains functional. The only catch, the electric ignition system, that familiar clicking sound before the flame ignites, won't work without power. But don't worry, this is where a little old-school know-how comes in handy. To light your gas stove manually, you'll need a flame source like a long-stemmed utility lighter, a standard lighter, or even a match. Here's the step-by-step process. First, turn the burner knob to the low setting. You'll hear the faint hiss of gas. Immediately bring your lighter or match to the edge of the burner. The gas will ignite with a soft whoosh, and you're good to go. Now, let's talk safety. The golden rule here is flame first, gas second. Always have your lighter or match ready and lit before you turn on the gas. If you turn the gas on first, and then fumble for a flame, you risk creating a dangerous buildup of unburnt gas which could ignite in a fireball. If the burner doesn't light within a few seconds, turn the gas off immediately and let the air clear for a minute before trying again. Another critical safety tip: make sure you have a working carbon monoxide detector in your home. While gas stoves burn clean, a malfunction or improper ventilation can lead to carbon monoxide buildup. Cracking a window in the kitchen is a simple precaution that can make a big difference. The beauty of using a gas stovetop during a power outage is that it doesn't require any special equipment. You can use your regular pots and pans to boil water, cook pasta, fry eggs, or make soup. The only downside is that most modern gas ovens won't work without electricity, as they rely on an electric ignition system. But with the stovetop alone, you can prepare a wide variety of hot meals to keep your family fed and comfortable. Before the next storm hits, stock up on a few lighters and keep them in a convenient spot near your stove. It's a simple prep step that can make all the difference. 2. Cooking in a wood-burning fireplace. If you're lucky enough to have a real functional wood-burning fireplace, you've got one of the most versatile and reliable tools for off-grid cooking. For centuries, fireplaces were the centerpiece of homes, providing both heat and a place to cook. In a power outage, they can still serve that dual purpose, offering warmth and a way to prepare hot meals. But cooking in a fireplace isn't as simple as tossing a pot into the flames. It requires a bit of technique and the right tool. The key to successful fireplace cooking is using the right heat source. You don't want to cook over roaring flames, as they're too unpredictable and will likely scorch your food. Instead, wait for the fire to burn down to a bed of glowing embers. These hot coals provide even, consistent heat that's perfect for cooking. One of the simplest methods is to use a fireplace grate. Place a cast iron skillet, Dutch oven, or grill rack directly on the grate over the embers. Cast iron is ideal because it retains heat well and can handle the high temperatures of a fireplace. You can fry, sauté, or even bake with the right setup. Another great option is a fireplace cooking tripod. This metal stand allows you to hang a Dutch oven over the coals, making it perfect for slow-cooking soups, stews, or chili. You can adjust the height of the pot to control the temperature. Lower for a boil, higher for a simmer. For a more hands-on approach, try foil packet cooking. Wrap potatoes, vegetables, or fish in heavy-duty aluminum foil and place them directly in the embers. The heat will cook the food evenly, and cleanup is a breeze. And of course, you can't forget the classics. Roasting hot dogs or marshmallows on sticks. It's a fun activity that can lift everyone's spirits during a stressful time. Safety is paramount when cooking in a fireplace. First and foremost, this method is only for true wood-burning fireplaces. Never attempt to cook in a gas fireplace. It's not designed for it, and doing so can damage the components and create a fire hazard. Make sure your chimney is clean and in good working order to prevent chimney fires. Keep a fire extinguisher nearby, and use long, heat-resistant gloves to protect your hands. With a good supply of dry firewood, a wood-burning fireplace can keep you warm and well-fed throughout a power outage. 3. Using a wood stove for cooking. A wood stove is like the modern, more efficient cousin of the traditional fireplace. If you have one in your home, you've got a powerhouse for both heating and cooking during a power outage. Unlike a fireplace, which requires you to cook over or near the flames, a wood stove provides a flat metal surface that functions as a cooktop. This makes it incredibly versatile and easy to use. The top of a wood stove gets extremely hot, essentially turning into a giant cast iron griddle. You can place pots, pans, or even a kettle directly on the surface to cook or boil water. The heat distribution isn't perfectly even. You'll have hotter spots directly over the firebox and cooler areas near the edges. But with a little practice, you can use this to your advantage. For example, you can bring a pot of water to a rapid boil over the hot spot and then slide it to a cooler area to simmer. One of the best things about a wood stove is its efficiency. It uses far less wood than an open fireplace and retains heat for much longer. This means you can keep a pot of stew or chili simmering all day with minimal effort. You can even bake on a wood stove by using a Dutch oven. Place the Dutch oven on a small trivet to create an air gap, and add hot coals to the lid for even heat distribution. This method works beautifully for bread, casseroles, and other baked dishes. Safety is crucial when using a wood stove. Make sure it's professionally installed and that the flue is regularly cleaned to prevent creosote buildup in chimney fires. Keep the area around the stove clear of flammable materials, and be cautious with children and pets, as the stove gets dangerously hot on all sides. Always have a fire extinguisher nearby, just in case. If you're considering a backup heat source for your home, a wood stove is one of the smartest investments you can make. It provides reliable heat, a cooking surface, and a cozy atmosphere that can make even the toughest power outages feel a little more manageable. 4 indoor safe propane heaters with cooking capability. Propane indoors? It might sound risky, but thanks to modern technology, there are now propane heaters specifically designed for safe indoor use. These devices are a game changer for emergency preparedness, offering both heat and a way to cook simple meals. The most popular option is the Mr. Heater Buddy series, which is engineered with multiple safety features to make it safe for indoor use. The key safety feature of these heaters is the oxygen depletion sensor, ODS. This sensor constantly monitors the oxygen levels in the room and automatically shuts off the heater if they drop to an unsafe level. Additionally, these heaters have a tip-over switch that turns the unit off if it gets knocked over. Because of these built-in safety systems, they're certified for indoor use. However, it's still a good idea to crack a window for ventilation and have a working carbon monoxide detector in the room. What sets these heaters apart is their cooking capability. The top of the heater has a small grate that gets hot enough to warm food or boil water. While it's not as powerful as a stove, it's perfect for heating up a can of soup, making coffee, or cooking a simple meal in a small pan. It might take a bit longer. Boiling water, for example, can take 20 minutes, but it's a reliable option when you're in a pinch. Using an indoor-safe propane heater is incredibly simple. Just attach a 1-pound propane cylinder, turn the knob, and hit the ignition. The heater will start up immediately, providing both warmth and a way to cook. These heaters are compact, portable, and easy to store, making them a great addition to any emergency kit. As always, safety comes first. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. Check your local codes, and never leave the heater unattended while it's in use. With the right precautions, an indoor-safe propane heater can be a lifesaver during a winter power outage, keeping you warm and well-fed when you need it most. 5. Canned heat. The unsung hero of indoor cooking. When you think of canned heat, you probably picture it warming trays of food at a buffet. But this humble little tool, often sold under the brand name Sterno, is a surprisingly effective and safe option for indoor cooking during a power outage. It's one of those overlooked items that punches well above its weight in an emergency. Canned heat is essentially a gelled alcohol fuel that's designed to burn cleanly and safely indoors. It's nearly odorless, produces minimal carbon monoxide, and is incredibly easy to use. That said, it's always smart to crack a window for ventilation, just to be on the safe side. These cans are lightweight, inexpensive, and have an impressive shelf life, making them a great addition to any emergency kit. Using canned heat is as simple as it gets. Pop the lid off, light the gel with a match or lighter, and you've got a steady flame that can last anywhere from 2 to 6 hours depending on the size of the can. While it's not powerful enough to sear a steak or fry up a big meal, it's perfect for heating up a can of soup, scrambling eggs, or boiling water for coffee or instant noodles. To make the most of it, you'll need a small stand to hold your pot above the flame. You can buy a folding camp stove designed for this purpose, or improvise with a few bricks or a metal rack. One of the biggest advantages of canned heat is its safety and convenience. The gel won't spill or evaporate, so you can store it for years without worrying about leaks. When you're done cooking, simply snuff out the flame by sliding the lid back on, and you can reuse the remaining fuel later. It's a compact, reliable solution that's especially useful for people living in apartments or small spaces where larger cooking setups might not be practical. If you're looking for a simple, affordable way to prepare hot meals during a power outage, canned heat is a no-brainer. Stock up on a few cans and a folding stove, and you'll be ready to handle any blackout with ease. 6. Alcohol stoves. Lightweight and reliable cooking power. Alcohol stoves are a favorite among backpackers and ultralight campers, and for good reason. They're compact, lightweight, and incredibly simple to use. But these same qualities make them an excellent option for emergency cooking at home. If you're looking for a reliable, no-frills way to cook indoors during a power outage, an alcohol stove is worth considering. At its core, an alcohol stove is a small burner that runs on denatured alcohol, a fuel you can easily find in the paint section of any hardware store. Denatured alcohol burns cleanly, producing almost no soot or odor, which makes it ideal for indoor use. To use the stove, you simply pour a small amount of fuel into the burner, light it, and wait for the flame to bloom. Within a minute, you'll have a steady, efficient heat source. However, there are a few important safety considerations to keep in mind. The flame from denatured alcohol can be nearly invisible in bright light, so always assume the stove is lit unless you've confirmed otherwise. Never try to refill the burner while it's still hot. This is the #1 cause of accidents with alcohol stove. Let the stove cool completely before adding more fuel, and keep your fuel bottle far away from the lit burner to avoid any mishaps. While alcohol stoves are compact and easy to store, they do require a pot stand to hold your cookware above the flame. You can purchase a lightweight stand designed for this purpose, or create your own with some basic materials. And while the stove itself burns cleanly, it's still a flame, so make sure to crack a window for ventilation and have a carbon monoxide detector in the room. One of the biggest advantages of an alcohol stove is its efficiency. A single gallon of denatured alcohol can last for dozens of meals, and the fuel has an indefinite shelf life. This makes it a great option for long-term emergency preparedness. Whether you're boiling water, cooking pasta, or making a simple stir-fry, an alcohol stove provides a reliable and portable solution for off-grid cooking. 7. Thermal cookers. The low-tech, slow cooking solution. If you're looking for a way to cook meals with minimal fuel and zero electricity, a thermal cooker or hay box oven is a brilliant solution. This old-school method of heat retention cooking is as simple as it is effective, making it a fantastic option for power outages. Think of it as the original slow cooker, but without the need for a power cord. The concept is straightforward. You start by bringing your food to a boil on another heat source, such as a gas stove or wood stove. Once the food is boiling, you transfer the pot to an insulated container that traps the heat and allows the food to continue cooking for hours. This method is perfect for soups, stews, rice, or any dish that benefits from slow, even cooking. You don't need any fancy equipment to make a thermal cooker. A cooler, a cardboard box, or even a large basket can serve as the base. The key is insulation. Traditional hay boxes used hay, but you can achieve the same effect with shredded newspaper, blankets, towels, or even foam padding. Line the bottom and sides of your container with insulation. Place your boiling pot in the center and pack more insulation around and on top of it. Close the lid, and you're done. In a few hours, you'll have a fully cooked, piping hot meal. The benefits of a thermal cooker are huge, especially in an emergency. First, it's incredibly fuel efficient. You only need to use a heat source for 10 to 15 minutes to bring the food to a boil. After that, the cooking happens passively, with no additional fuel required. Second, it's completely safe. Once the pot is in the insulated container, there's no flame, no fuel, and no risk of carbon monoxide. You can leave it unattended without any worries. Thermal cookers are also incredibly versatile. They're great for tenderizing tough cuts of meat, cooking dried beans, or making hearty one-pot meals. and because they don't rely on electricity, they're a perfect backup option for grid-down situations. If you're serious about emergency preparedness, a thermal cooker is a low-tech, high-impact tool that deserves a spot in your arsenal. 8 solar generators and low-wattage appliances. Your personal power grid. When the power goes out, having your own portable power station can feel like a cheat code. But it's not cheating. It's smart preparation. A solar generator, also known as a portable power station, is essentially a high-capacity battery with standard household outlets. You can charge it ahead of time from a wall outlet or pair it with solar panels to recharge using sunlight. This setup gives you a reliable, off-grid power source that's perfect for running small kitchen appliances during an outage. The key to making this work is understanding wattage. High-wattage appliances like electric kettles or large toasters will drain your power station in no time. Instead, focus on low-wattage appliances that sip power rather than guzzle it. One of the best options is a slow cooker. On its low setting, a slow cooker uses just 150 to 200 watts, meaning a medium-sized solar generator can keep it running for 5 to 8 hours. That's enough time to make a hearty chili stew or even a pot roast. It's quiet, produces no fumes, and can be used anywhere in your home. Other great low-wattage options include small rice cookers and pressure cookers like the Instant Pot, which are incredibly efficient because they cook food quickly. Even a microwave can work for short bursts, allowing you to reheat leftovers or warm up a quick meal. Just check the wattage label on your appliances. Anything under 500 watts is a good candidate for your solar generator. Of course, there's a downside cost. A good solar generator and solar panel setup is a significant investment. But it's not just for cooking. These systems can also charge phones, power lights, and even run medical devices, making them a versatile addition to your emergency preparedness kit. Think of it as your own silent, portable power grid. If you're serious about being ready for anything, a solar generator is a game changer. 9 vented rocket stoves, maximum heat, minimal fuel. The rocket stove is a marvel of engineering, designed to produce intense heat with minimal fuel. It's a favorite among campers and survivalists for its efficiency and simplicity. A rocket stove burns small twigs and sticks, focusing the heat into a concentrated flame that's perfect for boiling water or cooking with a single pan. The best part, it uses so little fuel that you can cook an entire meal with just a handful of sticks from your yard. Traditionally, rocket stoves are for outdoor use because they produce an open flame. However, with the right modifications, they can be safely used indoors. The critical requirement is proper ventilation. You'll need to set the stove near a window and use a piece of metal ducting to create a makeshift chimney that vents all the smoke and carbon monoxide outside. This isn't optional, it's absolutely essential for safety. Once properly vented, a rocket stove becomes an incredibly powerful indoor cooking tool. Its high heat output makes it ideal for boiling water quickly, which is crucial for tasks like water purification or cooking pasta. You can also use it for pan frying or making one-pot meals. The efficiency of the rocket stove means you'll save your larger firewood for heating, making it a great option for long-term emergencies. Safety is paramount when using a rocket stove indoors. The stove itself gets extremely hot, so it needs to be placed on a non-combustible surface, like concrete. Keep it far away from flammable materials, and never leave it unattended while in use. With proper precautions, a vented rocket stove is one of the most efficient and effective wood-burning options for indoor cooking during a power outage. 10. Improvised cookers. Resourcefulness in a pinch. When all else fails, sometimes you have to get creative. Improvised cookers might not be the most efficient or powerful options, but they can provide just enough heat to warm up a meal or a drink when you need it most. These methods are all about making the best use of what you already have on hand. One of the simplest improvised cookers is a cluster of candles. While most people think of candles as a light source, they can also generate a surprising amount of heat. Group 3 or 4 tea lights together, and place a small stand or rack above them to hold a mug or small pot. It's slow, but it's safe and uses a fuel source you likely already have. Candle lanterns are even better. The metal top of the lantern gets hot enough to gently warm a bowl of soup or a cup of water, while also lighting up the room. For a more survivalist approach, consider the tuna can stove. This ingenious method turns a can of tuna packed in oil into a makeshift cooking device. Here's how it works. Open the can, but don't drain the oil. Roll up a piece of toilet paper to act as a wick and place it in the oil. Once the wick is saturated, light it. The oil serves as fuel, and the can will burn with a steady flame for about 20 minutes. Plenty of time to heat up a small meal or boil water. When you're done, snuff out the flame, remove the wick, and the tuna is still edible. These improvised methods aren't about cooking gourmet meals. They're about resourcefulness and survival. Knowing how to turn everyday items into functional cookers can make a huge difference in a pinch. Whether it's candles, a tuna can, or another creative solution, these small-scale cookers prove that you don't need fancy equipment to stay warm and fed during a power outage.